is our fourth guest on our new show on YouTube. Check it out. And I've got, again, a fan favorite from our podcast, Danny Siggers. Danny, thank you very much for coming back onto the show. How are you? And it's good to see you again.
I'm great to see you too. I'm all good.
I thought, you know what, let's just show off our little kits that we've got, if we've got some from our childhood. I have to thank you tremendously for that idea, Danny, that you implemented whilst we're having our little Shaka Hislop podcast.
Yeah, no worries. Like, the thing with football is, if you're a football fan, you're going to be a fan of a kit. You can appreciate the team you support, and then their kits and how they develop, or you might even just be disliking their kit one season. But there's always going to be that one team around the world or that one country that you go, oh, hang on a second, they've got something going on there. Just like the one that you're wearing as well. Can I just say, to start off with, if you can see that, what exactly are you got on there, that little number?
Yeah, so what I'm wearing is the 2019 to 2020 Borussia Dortmund kit. This is what they wore in their league campaign, because they have different ones for like the Champions League and away kits and everything like that. But this is their home one. I did like the design of the Puma design for Borussia Dortmund, but I've got a special play for me on the back, so I'm just going to turn my kit around.
There we go, number 7, the English boy.
For me, I think is one of the most special players England's seen in a long, long time, and I'm a very happy England fan watching JADON Sancho doing really well for Borussia Dortmund, because in this season, 20 goals, 20 assists in 44 games. I should probably check with Safian later, because obviously Saf Stats is the one in the know with all the stats at the moment. But I just remember him scoring at the Nou Camp in a 3-1 defeat. I remember him doing really well against Bayern Munich that season, scoring in the Super Coppa, progressing his career, not really resting on his laurels like a lot of England players have done recently. And the fact that he wants to be that number 7 for England for years to come, with Raheem Sterling, with Rashford, with Grealish, going up front and just kind of tearing up for England. And what are your thoughts on the kit personally?
So the kit for me, so the first thing that obviously stands out for me as just a person who's into fashion and whatnot is the Puma badge. Now, Puma themselves have taken on quite a lot of kits over the last couple of years. So you look at the Arsenal brand deals and quite a few teams where Nike and Adidas have maybe dropped out a little bit more. So for Puma to be taking on a German team like that and just sort of like trying to levitate them, that's always a good start. I've never heard of the sponsor on the logo. Was it Evonik? I would like to know a little bit more about what Evonik do. It looks like it's a classy logo. Maybe, is it red on there? Is it red the sponsor?
It's a purple one, so it's purple with like a black outline.
Goes with the kit, goes well. It's not an eyesore. And I love the stripes down the sides and just a little bit of the collar detail with what Puma have done there. But the main thing for me on all German kits is the name at the bottom of the kit. So a lot of teams obviously use their player names, and that's how they get shirt sales. So for Sancho just to have a little bit of a box at the bottom, it's interesting. It's a different tactic. It might just be what the Germans are used to out there. I'd have to look at another few German kits.
Bayern Munich at the top, no one at the bottom. It's not iron, so we're not doing a review of this one anyway. I've done one already. But the fact that it's got Bayern Munich at the top is just to show that the team is always bigger than the player. Yeah. I guess what that kind of means with the German teams at the moment. But with the player that we're talking about, I believe he can become as big as anyone we've seen in English football personally. I think it's someone that is keeping himself on the right track. He's kind of educating himself in the right way, going through his footballing education in Germany, which a lot of players haven't done, but they've followed his lead from England, going abroad to Italy, to France, to Germany. And it's great for me to see, and it was great for us to talk about and kind of understand that you get different footballing education away from the Premier League, and he can always come back, because I'm pretty sure the likes of Chelsea, Man City, Man United could afford him.
I think he walks into any English team's starting 11, and that's just a fact. I think there's no team in the Premier League that would be worse without him. They're always going to be better with him. But just to mention, sort of going off of a fact of what you said, I think he was the first young star to head to a big team in another country. There was always going to be talks over whether it was going to be Callum Hudson-Odoi when he had that big offer from Bayern Munich, which he turned down, which I think was probably the wrong decision, looking at it now. But when Sancho was moving around these clubs, you look at the Watfords and then went to Man City, and then off he goes to Borussia Dortmund on this loan deal to try and get a few more minutes. Everyone's looking at it like, what the hell is he doing? He's at Man City, he could break into the first team, he's got these minutes. But I think what English fans fail to remember is that there is life outside of the Premier League. Everyone's always talking, the Premier League's the best league in the world, and there's no one going to be able to combat the talent and the technicality and the speed and the aggression of this league. Well, actually, you don't always need that to be able to be a winning team, and you've seen that.
Even if you look internationally as well, the fact that France have many of their players playing outside of France, and you see loads of players from Portugal playing outside of Portugal, when they won the European Championships and won France on the World Cup respectively as well. They don't always have to get the football and education to play for their country. And that's a really good point that you made, that it's not all about the Premier League. And I agree with that 100%. And proof's in the pudding with JADON Sancho. So it's just right there as well.
Are we rating the kits, or like how does this work? Like, we give an overall rating?
Overall rating. So you rate the kit on design as well as the player on the back. So that's how I kind of do it. So for me, this is a straight out 10 for me. It's a really good fashion thing for me to wear. I'm not, like, for me, I don't have loud fashion, but this is probably one of the loudest kits I have. I love the player on the back, JADON Sancho. I really would love him at Man United. If we get him, that's another conversation entirely. But for me, it's a straight 10 out of 10 for the Borussia Dortmund 19 to 20 season kit. How would you rate the kit and the player together, Dan?
So I think for overall design and the way it sets out, I think 10's maybe a little bit generous. I'm gonna go with a 9. I think definitely, like the other kits in the Bundesliga, there's probably a little bit more design out of them. So for example, other than the top of the sleeves, it's just a little bit plain for me. That yellow is like I know they call themselves the yellow wall and whatnot, and the stadium and the stature that yellow club holds within the Bundesliga is high. I'm going to go 9.5 for the design, but it's got to be a 10 for the player on the back. I think he's going to be a future star wherever he goes, whether that be in the English leagues, in the German leagues, or anywhere else in Europe. And I think he's going to really kick on and become one of the English names to succeed in the future.
Definitely, 100% agree with you there. But yeah, that was our review of the Borussia Dortmund home kit with JADON Sancho on the back, the 2019 to 2020 season.